What's up you guys, Matt here from Spider-Man Customs. I know I haven't posted in a very long time, but today I thought I'd make a video on how to make some custom web lines or webbing for your Marvel Legends Spider-Man. You can also make it fit your selects, your Mezco, and anything else really in that scale. So yeah, I just wanted a tutorial. We'll have a look and see what we need to do, and then have a look at some posing and different kind of display options with different levels of web at the end. So yeah, hope you enjoy. So the first thing you want to be getting is this steel wire. It comes in a coil and a roll like this. Basically you get this stuff on Amazon. I think it'll cost me about £3. So I don't know what that'd be, about maybe $4 or $5. I don't know. The inflation is so crazy right now. I couldn't think off the top of my head. But I'll put a link in the description below. So basically what this is so thin. You see just how thin that is. So we're gonna have to coil it up and wrap it up. So varying lengths, you know, I've done some, for example, this one here, this wraps right around the body and goes all the way around. I think that looks quite cool. The Superior Spider-Man I showed at the beginning, I currently got him sporting this, whoops. The shorter web there, and then the one wrapped around the body. You can get all sorts of different lengths and displays. This is a slightly different one. I used a slightly thicker wire for this. This is one of the older ones I did. I still like it though. This is more the kind of McFarlane style spaghetti webs. Again, you got that enough there to hang on and kind of for it to be shooting out the front there as well. So that short amount. So it looks like he's like firing at someone, a web shot at someone whilst he's swinging. You can just have lots of different fun and display options with this. It's really not a hard thing to do, but I just think it adds so much to the figures, and I think it really does look quite cool when you're doing a display, especially if you've got a dynamic display, a fight or something like that. So yeah, I'll show you how to do it. It's really easy. You're gonna love it. So you got what you need. You need something thin. You can use a pencil. I'm just using this straw here. This is basically just so you can get, when you've got the length you desire, you're then going to wrap this around here, and then you're going to have that kind of handle that's going to sit on the wrist of the figure. However, what you want to do is get this kind of fine length. So I'm just going to do a short one to start with, I think. On here there's a little place to cut, on this side as well. So get in here, cut the length you want. We go to about here, I think. And then I'm just going to get it on the wire, give it a few turns. Just going to cut off nice and clean like that. And then I'm going to wrap this around the straw. Doesn't matter if the lengths aren't exactly matched up to each other. I'm just going to twist it around. So we've got that nice little close cut coil, and it's going to wrap really quickly. So this is where I do it slightly differently to other people, because from the tutorials I've seen, they'll do this with a thicker wire and then essentially just do the spaghetti webs, which is what I did on the previous one, which is absolutely fine. It looks cool, but I really like the idea of the web being I don't know, it's just more of a modern web, I guess. I draw inspiration from the Raimi movies. There was a toy that came out. If I can find it, I'll put it on the screen at some point, maybe here. And yeah, basically, so that kind of web, I love that toy, but I love the idea of the bendy web. I don't understand why we don't get this with Marvel Legends now. To be honest, I don't understand why. I know we get it with some, but we don't really get, you know, a lot. So you can see this is quite thin. I'm gonna be honest, this is a lot thinner than the one I usually go for. And essentially, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start by wrapping a rough idea around the edge. So then I'm gonna put it kind of taut. The next thing you want to do is, once you've got the length that you desire, you're going to start coiling around on the length of the wire to get that kind of the bumps and the ridges and the kind of spiraling effect of the webs. Don't make it all even. You want to get some kind of crossing and cross hatching and that kind of thing to make it look kind of fluid, not uniform. Otherwise it just looks a bit boring, because if you look at the webs in the comics, they are very much their own thing. They short fat ones, they kind of have their thing. The longer ones do as well. I'll do the rest off camera because it is very monotonous to watch. But yeah, I'll see you in a sec. So yeah, I actually decided to make this into a slightly shorter web, because I've got loads of these longer pieces that I've done now. So I wanted to do one that maybe looked more like a web shot. As you see, the wire is slightly thinner than the one I've used, but you get the basic idea. It's just coiling it around and getting those little notches. You want to start quite heavy at one end and to go a little bit fatter and a little bit thinner, but it doesn't need to be even. You want it to be kind of fluid. That's what it is. It's web fluid. There's a couple of little bits I just want to touch up. I just want to tighten some bits. So to do that, I'm literally just going to take the wire that I've been using and just go over it again and put it in a bit tighter. But yeah, essentially that's it. Then I'm going to paint it black, and then I'm going to touch up and then do some highlights and stuff, which I'll show you in a minute. It's that easy, that simple, and yeah, I think it looks pretty cool on the figures. Let's have a look. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking some plain black acrylic paint. You put these things up for a few pound or a few dollars on Amazon or in any kind of craft shop. I'm just painting it into all the crevices and all the gaps in between the wires, so that it looks very uniform. The reason I do this is because you could just paint it straight flat white to begin with, but I think that has the danger of looking a bit too dead, a bit too flat. So I think this is just ultimately the best way to go in terms of getting that depth. So as you can see, I have just painted the whole thing white. It's really got that kind of depth, and you can see where you got the black kind of wash inside. So yeah, I think it came out pretty well. So I'm now going to show you how to attach it to your Spider-Man. So you basically just take the hands off, you put the little hoop that you started with at the beginning around the straw, around the connection of the hand, insert the hand into the wrist, and yeah, you got what you came for really. And now you've got a pretty cool looking web attached to your Spider-Man figure, making it pop on that shelf. So as you can see, I've put one of the longer webs on the other hand, and I put on the flight stand there. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. One of the big things I like about the short webs is it can look really cool when up against another character. So you've got him facing off against Rhino there. I just love how that looks. It looks so cool. So yeah, play around with it, have some fun. There's some other poses and stuff that you can do with different characters. So yeah, then we've got that kind of longer web wrapped around his arms and everything. I think that looks awesome in terms of, it really showcases the acrobatic side of Spider-Man. I think it looks really cool. It pops on the shelf, man. And this one as well, I think, you get that real swinging thing. If you got a couple of buildings in a diorama or a cityscape, it looks really cool. It looks like he's swinging from building to building. It looks very, very comic booky. I love that Superior Spider-Man has those grabbing hands. So yeah, there's just a bunch of different poses here and different lengths of web. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. You can have so much fun with this, and just it just really adds something to the figures, I think. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I know it's cliche, but it really does help me to kind of know what you want to see from the channel. But yeah, if I don't see you before, have a mad Christmas and really, really good New Year. But hopefully I'll get some videos out before then. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.